Good afternoon. Let's start off the week of the 12th. I want to start off this week with a couple of shout outs of things that have been going on campus. Obviously, the big one, the first one, is that our football team is now 11-1 and is entering the state quarterfinals, which is the farthest our football team has gone in the history of Moore. Big shout out to Mr. Cameron with 2 touchdown runs. And I think, though, the biggest shout out for the team is probably the defense, which only allowed 11 yards the entire game. Now, let me demonstrate real quick. I'm going to go walk 11 yards and then come back, and let's see how long that takes. I'm back. That's how long 11 yards is, and that's the extent of the field that our defense led up for the game. That's pretty amazing. I want to give a big shout out. There's Eleanor. I want to give a big shout out to our quick recall team, who is and still undefeated. They take on DOS this week and hopefully move on to 6-0 for the year. Encourage folks, if you've never been to a quick recall match, how cool would it be if we had like 50 kids show up in room 153, packed them in there to watch our quick recall team, who's doing an amazing job. I also want to highlight Veterans Day, that is right around the corner. This is a very important day for our nation, and it's a very important day for many of our staff members. Please watch the Veterans Day slideshow that our Air Force JROTC has put together, highlighting staff members and the importance of Veterans Day. This is a very important day, like I said, not only for our nation, but for our staff, and bears recognition. And we need to take time out and give appreciation for those that have served. I want to talk about a couple things this week, just things that are going on campus and in our school, and reiterate the importance of some of them. One is the backpack of skills. As you guys are building your backpacks and filling them full of evidence and artifacts, I want you to think about how you're preparing for that eventual defense when you are an eighth grader or you are a senior. There's Ellie again. She wants to show you a spider. But how you are preparing those backpacks for when you are an eighth grader and a senior, and when you will stand and defend your learning and talk about what your next step is. This is a big deal, and this is going to be awesome. And I'm really looking forward to our early defenders that are going to go on in December. And I hope that we'll be able to videotape some of those. And with student permission, maybe we'll put them out there so people can see some exemplars. I want to give a shout out to the freshmen class of 2022. They had their commitment to graduation ceremony the other day. I had the opportunity to speak to them briefly. We had some parents in the building, a lot of folks there. And it was really cool. They got an opportunity to kind of see the things that we offer, which segues me into the high school folks. If you are a 10th through 12th grader, you're in an academy right now. You're either in Health Science Academy, Community Academy, or STEM Academy. And a couple of basic things you need to know is anyone should be able to walk up to you and say, what is your academy? What is your pathway? And where are you in your sequence of study? So, for example, if I'm one of Mr. Duffy's engineering kids and I walk up to him and I ask him, I should say, what's your academy? And they're going to say, I'm in the STEM Academy. My pathway is civil engineering, and I'm in year 2 of my program. That's something that we all need to know, and that's a culture that we need to build. Now, on the other side of the building, the middle school side, the two big things that you all need to focus on academically are reading and math. And this is not just your ELA class or math class. This is every class that you're in. You need to look and think critically. How do I use my reading skills? How do I use my mathematical reading or my mathematical skills in all of my classes? So if I'm a middle schooler here and I'm sitting in, let's say, Mr. Higgins' class in 6th grade in social studies, I need to think, how am I using my critical reading skills in this class? How am I using my mathematical skills when I'm looking at maps and I'm measuring things and I'm looking at longitude and latitude? When I'm in my middle school classes, I really need to be thinking about how am I preparing myself to be a better reader and be better at math. So as long as we continue to do those things, I think we're going to keep making progress as a school. I want to reiterate once again, you're in the hallway. I need to see a hall pass. That's just an expectation across the board. We also don't want to see you in the hallway in the first 10 minutes of class and the last 10 minutes of class, because that's where the two most important things happen: the opening of the lesson and some direct instruction, and then closure of the lesson and understanding. So we really need you in class during those times. As ever, please be excellent to each other. We had a pretty good week behaviorally last week. It was a short week, but not a whole lot of things popping off. Every once in a while, there's something. But realize, a big part of our perception in the community is what people hear and what they think. Our school, if you look at it behaviorally wise, we're not a bad school. We've got problems like any other school, but it's not like we've got kids running the halls wild. We have issues we can still continue to work on and fix, but we must approach school every day with the mentality that we will be better today than we were yesterday, and we will be better tomorrow than we are today. And we do that by being kind to each other, following some of the simple rules and guidelines that we have on campus, and always being hungry for the mentality that we must be better. As ever, I am proud to be the principal of our school, and now you know more.